We are in Bolzano, the capital of South Tyrol, and quite possibly one of the most beautiful small cities in Europe. Nestled in a wide alpine valley, it's surrounded by vineyards, castles, and towering cliffs, with the Dolomites visible in nearly every direction. In this video, we'll show you why Bolzano is a dream destination for vegan travelers who also love nature, hiking, and stunning landscapes. As a bonus, we'll go through the spots we visited, how we reached there without a car, and how you can do it too.
So, how was the vegan food scene in Bolzano? Let's find out.
Our first meal in Bolzano was in the old town at Humus Bistro. It was a lovely day and the place was really buzzing. We had to pass some time before checking in, so this was perfect. We started with the baba ganoush, which was really nice. Next up was the couscous. The veggies were chunky but overcooked. Overall, it was undersalted and underseasoned and needed a lot of fine tuning. The falafel looked great, but it was just okay. It was quite dry and not what you'd expect from a spot specializing in this stuff. This meal was good, but not great. We checked into our lovely Airbnb, which was also in the old town, and then we were off to the majestic Alpe di Siusi. It was a 10-minute walk to the bus Bahnhof and then a direct bus straight to the Siusi cable car station. And after an awesome cable car journey, we made it. Alpe di Siusi is Europe's highest alpine meadow, a vast rolling plateau framed by the jagged Dolomites. It's the kind of place where every trail feels like a postcard. It's incredibly accessible but somehow still feels peaceful and untouched. And it's a must do if you're in South Tyrol. We had already been in Europe for a couple of weeks and the bread here is really good and relatively cheap, but this Asian guy needed some rice. So we were off to Tandoori home food for our first Indian meal of the trip. This place was really buzzing and the menu had clearly marked allergens, but the aloo tikki came with yogurt and was egg fried. But the waiter acknowledged it and changed it to the vegan variant with achar, a spicy pickle, and also a sweet tamarind sauce. It was really fresh, hot, and super tasty. We enjoyed it with dal and rice. This dal was one of the best dals I have had in a very long time. It was so flavorful and tasty.
I think the trick is to order things that are inherently vegan. So the dal was a great idea and it was cooked so well, so flavorful, perfect. But the other thing is a risk when you're ordering a tofu tikka masala or a butter masala gravy. There are a lot of ingredients you cannot use because you're vegan, so you need substitution. But in this case, the chef really delivered. The flavors were totally on point, and we'd highly recommend both dishes and the aloo tikki as well. It was genuinely a great meal. This was one of our best meals of the trip so far, and one of the best Indian vegan meals we've been a long, long time.
We then went to Co-op for some groceries. As usual in Europe, you'll find a lot of clearly marked vegan options along with the classic plant-based groceries. This haul of goodies really worked out for us over the next couple of days. A good end to a great first day. The rice experiment was so successful that for breakfast the next day, we made a mushroom risotto at home with some tomatoes, olive oil, and an aged vegan cheese we had picked up from Caban du Douce in Nice. This cook is not humble and it was outrageously good. And so with a tummy full of rice, we were off to Seceda. Again, it's a direct bus and a couple of cable cars take you right to the top and boom, you're in pure alpine wilderness. It's wild, cinematic and completely unforgettable. Seceda might just be the most dramatic ridgeline in the Dolomites, with vertical cliffs that drop off deep into valleys and panoramic views that stretch all the way to Austria. We weren't expecting the snow and it was a lovely surprise for Vidhi. I think she enjoyed this day the most, making a snowman and picking snow fights. It was cold though and we couldn't resist stopping at the restaurant there. There were two vegan options, fries and veggies. So we got the fries and a hot cappuccino with soya milk. Just look at the views, glorious, and in every direction. I wish we had more options, but simple things served hot can be pretty great too. Once we were back home, for dinner, Vidhi made a delicious tofu scramble. Next morning, Vidhi made a lovely avocado toast with some guac, seitan, cheese and olive oil. Super tasty and a great start to the day. And then we were off to Zans, near St. Magdalena for a hike. This is a great time to talk about public transport here. First of all, there's the Südtirol Mobile Pass. It costs just €30 for 3 days of unlimited public transport use, and it also gives you access to all regional trains and buses. When we were here, it was still quite new, so the machine wasn't validating the ticket, but the drivers on ground were aware of it, and if you just showed them the QR code, you were good to go. Now back to Zanz, and just look at the views from this gorgeous bus ride. All the drives were beautiful, but this might have been the very best. Once at Zanz, we just followed the trail markers to Geisler Alm, or Rifugio Delle Odle. Starting from a quiet forest at Zanz, you wind through meadows and pine until suddenly, boom, the Odle peaks rise right in front of you like jagged teeth. The Rifugio itself is nestled in this valley with wooden benches, cold drinks, and one of the best views you'll ever eat lunch in front of. But first, we filled up our water bottles. Vidhi had made some extra tofu scramble and it tasted twice as good up here in the crisp mountain air. My dad used to say hunger is the best sauce.
After 400 meters, it's tasting extra special.
We did a couple of video calls with both our moms and then we were off down again. The weather can change suddenly and that's what it did. Several times in fact. So you can go from clear and sunny to cloudy and wet within minutes and then back again. For the descent, we looped around the other way and this route was more rugged and adventurous. It was a bit scary because of how isolated you can feel up there. But once you get used to it, it was glorious. There were so many beautiful moments on the way down. At this point, we were within touching distance of the snow. And then after more jagged descent, we were wandering through glorious meadows. If you'd like an almost as good view, then we'd recommend this Rifugio, which is just 25 minutes up. And finally, we made it for our 4:35 bus at 4:33, which felt like winning a race. A non-existent race because the next bus was just 30 minutes later. But still, a win is a win. We got back home super hungry but pretty tired. So we freshened up and went to Spizzico for dinner. They have a terrace which is really nice, but we chose to sit street side. They had clearly marked vegan options, which is always a bonus.
And we have chosen the 3 cheese pizza. It's basically like a margarita, but it has 3 types of vegan cheeses. And it's amazing. Simple and so cheesy and so tasty.
The bread was good, the sauce was good, and these BioLife style cheeses do a pretty incredible job these days, especially when it's hot and melty. We also got the schnitzel, which was super flavorful.
Thin, fried really well, but it was served with this Heinz mayo, which was not vegan. So yeah, that's something we need to tell them.
But they accepted the mistake later on. This stuff happens, so it's okay. We had had a nutritious breakfast and lunch, so this super indulgent meal felt okay. It felt pretty good to be honest after a tiring hike. For dessert, we went to this popular gelato spot. There was a queue, but it moved very quickly because of the super prompt service. Gelato in Italy has been incredible, and this might have been one of the best spots. We got a mix of the coconut and chocolate, and it was really good. This wasn't a vegan spot, but most of the options were vegan.
So good. And both together is just tasting perfect.
On our final morning, it was risotto again, and it was so good. For dessert, we returned to Humus for their umali, a bread pudding from Egypt but veganized. It was super hot and fresh, but just good, not great. Bolzano turned out to be such a surprise. It's small, but it has everything we love. Beautiful public transport that takes you straight into the Alps, postcard perfect hikes, and enough vegan food to keep you excited through it all. What stood out most was how easy it was to explore without a car. Every bus and cable car ran right on time, and every ride felt like a scenic tour through the mountains. South Tyrol is one of the most culturally unique corners of Italy, where German, Italian, and Ladin languages blend into everyday life. The vegan scene here isn't huge, but it's heartfelt. From cozy bistros in the old town to pizzerias and gelaterias with vegan options. And honestly, with views like these, every meal feels elevated anyway. If you love nature, mountains, and that slower pace of travel, Bolzano is the kind of place that stays with you long after you've left. So, if you're planning a trip to Bolzano, it's time to get really excited.